This is my lovely mom with her New York City coat. We just finished up at Amy's rental car. Now we're getting our car. The lady was really sweet. Her name is Carmen, and she gave us a big savings on our rental car. I don't know why she did that, but she just seems like a nice person.
Yeah, she is.
We're off to a good start. So today is November 20th, 2016, and as my friends and family know, a year ago my dad passed away. So today we're here in New York City with my mom and Tiffany and my niece and my sister, and we're going to head out to the cemetery of Mount Ararat to do the unveiling of his footstone. It's going to be a very tough day emotionally, especially for my mom, all of us. And we're just going to try and get through the day. After that, my plan is to take us out to Port Washington, which is where I grew up, my mom grew up, my sister grew up, and spend a day touring the town. I think that'll bring a lot of smiles and happiness to our face. So this emotional roller coaster begins now. Hey, Mama. Good morning.
Good morning, sweetheart. Are you okay?
Yeah.
The show was terrific last night, wasn't it?
It was a really good show. How did you sleep?
Fine.
We didn't go to bed till about, I don't know, maybe 12:30.
Well, I didn't go to bed right away.
My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play.
Now we're religious.
Oh, I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay.
Hi, good morning.
He walked away, but his smile never did. He said, I'm gonna be like him. Yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him.
Whew, it's cold. We are now at the Mount Ararat Cemetery, which is where my dad's buried, and my mom's just gone into the office to find out where the plot is, so we can get another little map, and we're gonna head on out there and pay our respects. We're now at my dad's burial site, and we're gonna go say a few things. This is gonna be really hard on my mom, I think all of us, of course, but really glad to be here.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, the little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time
Here's the pond, the duck pond.
We're just entering the town of Roslin right now, and years ago, I don't know how long, I took Tiffany here because it's such a romantic little town and I want to show her where I grew up. And we took a walk out on the little river water, and I think that's where she fell in love with me. I don't know, maybe it was before then, but really cute town. So we're coming back here with my mom and my niece Samantha. Hi, Sammy. We found a cute little Greek restaurant here in the town of Roslin. We're gonna go in there and have some lunch together. Try and get in a little better mood.
Well, he came from college just the other day. So much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said,
Bye, sweetie.
Hi.
Good seeing you, way too short. Bye,
Thanks,
sweetie.
bye, baby.
Love you. All right, you guys. Bye-bye. Bye. Love you too. Drive safe. We've now just entered Port Washington, the town where I grew up. We're down by, what is this, North Hempstead?
No, this is Bar Beach.
Bar Beach, where I swam as a little kid, but now Mom says it's polluted. We are at 26 Beacon Hill Road. Why is that address significant, Mom?
Because I lived here for about 5 years.
So cute. All right, Mama, get out there. And one of the things I remember as a little kid was raking up all these leaves and jumping in it. Loved it. We're on Main Street right now, literally called Main Street, and we just passed my mom's favorite pizza place, which is still
Frank's.
here, Frank's Pizza. How long has that been here then?
Ever since I was a kid.
Ever since my mom was a kid. My mom's 80 years old, so a long time. Here's the duck pond right here. This is where I used to go ice skating when it would freeze over, or we come and feed the ducks.
Which way? Here?
All right, we're now on Ashwood Road, which is where my mom grew up. My grandma and my grandfather actually built their own house from scratch. So this is where my mom's house used to be, at this location. This is not her house. They must have torn down the old house and they built this. It's a duplex because it's number 68 and number 70.
My father was in the auxiliary police. He'd go out on patrol when the sirens would go. And I got so frightened because of that. I said, why don't we build a hole in the hill, cover it up, and stock it with food and water and air holes. So when the Nazis come to get us Jews, we could hide there. That was the real fear I had. And when my father went out on patrol, he went out with his gun. I was afraid he'd get shot or killed.
So how did they know they wanted to go into the baby cat business?
Oh, well, my father, here it is, the yellow building on your left. Right there, number 22.
They built a factory and my grandparents had a baby cat business. This used to be the Carvel ice cream. Now it's a convenience smoke shop.
And there was a bar here that I
That's
used to
depressing.
go into.
That little hairstyling place was where my dad was getting his hair cut when I burned myself really bad as a kid, and I told my mom, I said, please don't tell Dad, he's gonna be disappointed. Well,
You want to go up Concord Road, don't you?
there was no way that my dad wasn't finding out about me getting burned, and we went off to the hospital. Now, this Concord Road over here is a cemetery. Living across the street from a cemetery provides a lot of opportunity for hide and seek, and super creepy at night, but it was a lot of fun.
And good sleigh riding.
Very good sleigh riding at the cemetery.
They allowed you to do that?
No, we used to sneak in all the time.
This little tree right here, right on the corners where they'd had Santa come and everybody would come out and get gifts in the neighborhood. They serve hot cocoa and Dunkin' Donuts. All right, here we go. Here's my house,
The gray one?
right here. So this is my house. This is where I grew up. I used to play here on the street. So I lived on a street that was pretty much all girls. So I'd sit here on the fire hydrant waiting for my turn to play. I miss it. My mom snuck around the back of the house. I don't even know if they're home. As you can tell, she's much happier now. It was a rough start to the day. What do you think of your house?
Very nice.
Mary Kay, there's your house. It looks wonderful. It used to be blue as I remember it. It looks beautiful, and you were just a wonderful friend. I miss you. Thanks for playing with me. And Patricia, Carol, there's your house. We had some fun times playing in your basement. I loved it, playing pool. You guys taught me how to play pool. You're still not that good. So this house right here, very nice looking house. When I lived here, when I grew up, the guy who lived in this house invented refueling in midair. So when you see planes flying and that little tube comes down and they refuel jets or other planes, this was the guy who engineered that and lived here. All right, we're now entering South Salem Elementary School, which is where I went to school. This was my elementary school until 6th grade back then, until we moved to California. This is St. Francis Hospital. If you remember, I moved from New York when I was 11, and by the time I left, I had visited here so many times, let's just say in the teens. When we were heading out of town, we actually brought donuts to the nurses here to say farewell. That's how well I knew this place. In our small little town right here on Northern Boulevard, this area right here is called the Miracle Mile. And for all you Billy Joel fans, you know that he sings about the Miracle Mile. That's right here in our little town of Port Washington, where all the shops are.
This is where Maggie taught math to St. Mary's Catholic School, and it was through my recommendation that she become a math teacher.
All right, so my mom just told me a story about a place we just passed that is worth repeating.
Okay, Bernard, it was a wedding hall where several weddings could go on all at once, And several times we teenagers would get dressed in our fancy dudes and come up and have a night of eating and dancing and drinking, and nobody knew that we weren't in that wedding party. We never stayed long enough. We'd float from one to the other and have a good time. Then we go home.
In other words, my mom was the original wedding crasher. Back to Manhattan.
And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me he'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't